Uncontrolled Chaos here. In this video, we are going to talk about resource farming. All of it. Let's go ahead and get started. So first off, there are multiple ways to do resource farming, and we will cover all the different ways to do that and how some of them are automated and some of them are a manual labor type thing. Let's first go into talking about some automated ways. Some automated ways that you can do this is you can bring in your freighter, and on your freighter is that ability to harvest different materials, including chromatic metal, along with some other gases and things like that. So you bring that into the solar system you're in, and it will gather that stuff as you're running around doing other things. The next thing I want to talk about, gas harvesters. There's a small one like showing on screen now that will collect gas. And then there's the larger ones where you have to do a survey and find hotspots for. And the one I found is a B-class oxygen one. So this is a great way for me to get supplies of oxygen, which is nice. Then there's, of course, the mining. And that can be done by you just mining or by having harvesters also automatically mine it for you. As you can see here, I have one gathering copper, and you can do that. Then on top of that, let's say you're needing carbon, you're needing ferrite dust or pure ferrite dust or some of those other materials that are out there like that you want to get off of the surface. So what you can do is you can use an Exocraft for this, for quicker getting around. And the reason I mention this is those Exocrafts can move a lot quicker, except for one. And the one that doesn't is the Minotaur. That's the walking Exocraft. So the one I'm going to use is the hauler Exocraft. And the reason I'm using the hauler Exocraft is because it has the most inventory space. And the great thing is you can find mining laser enhancements to increase how quickly it damages stuff and you mine, which is nice. And as you can see, I'm roaming around and I'm just going through, I'm ripping through the trees, I'm ripping through the rocks and stuff like that. And the great thing I like is you can also do mining in this, and that's really nice. And then when you get to a point where you're having trouble reaching some of the spots to mine to get the rest of the copper wherever you're getting, you can jump out of that and you can summon down your Minotaur to go in and do the fine cleanup. And let's say you're just needing some soil. You can use the Minotaur to do that for you too and hold big batches of it itself. With all that said, this is how you can quickly do the farming, because what I like to do is as I'm driving along in the harvester, which is why I like the harvester is a bit slower, is you can just be aiming that turret where you want to harvest as you're moving forward. But you want to be careful. You don't want to over aim too much, because the turning is also done somewhat by the turret, and turn the turret too much, it may turn your vehicle. But this is a great way if you're making a path towards someplace, you can be gathering up all those trees, all those rocks, all those other resources you need to get, which is really great and really nice. So as you're doing all this harvesting in one area, you can also use the new Interceptor Sentinel ship to do some really good harvesting, because it hovers just like you're seeing on this screen. You can blast things away and get. The problem is it does not allow you to get the stuff that requires an advanced laser. While you're doing all this harvesting, you got your mining going, your gases going, freighter up above you, getting gases or other metal that you may want, and stuff like that. So that's the best way to farm resources, because you're doing some manual farming. It's really quick, yes. As you saw here, you know, I've gotten thousands in my ferrite dust and in the pure ferrite and also in the carbon, along with a few other resources that you see. But while this is going on, guess what? My mining stuff is getting me the copper. My gas harvester is getting me the oxygen. My small harvester is getting me another gas. My freighter up above me is naturally on its own harvesting that. So you're not just harvesting one thing at a time, you're harvesting 5 things at a time that you're harvesting. And that's really, really good. That is the way you maximize and you farm. On top of that, you can have a base nearby. All of this stuff that's going on, like I have set up here, and you can also get your plants. So as you're running along and getting stuff, get those plants, because you can take those plants and you can plant them in planters on your base and they'll regrow there, so you're not having to scavenge around all over the place. You're keeping everything in a confined area, which is really, really good. And this is how you do all of your quick harvesting. So you might want to, when you build your base, build a big farming area using the planters or the biodomes that have for planting. I suggest the planters because you can set them up next to one another and create aisleways that you can just go down instead of just having a small limited area with the biodomes. But that is ways to do things and works really, really well. Now, if you want to deep dive in all the different ways that you can mine, you want to check out this video right here. It is very helpful. It's the ultimate guide to mining. It goes over some of the stuff that I mentioned here, but it shows you really great ways to mine. Have a great day.